you. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome, everyone. So, thank you so much joining us today for this April month's inspirational session. We are thrilled to welcome here our esteemed guest, Onyinyechi and Bernardine, on Textilers call today. So, let me introduce myself. I'm Jayshree Ostwal. I'm Power Platform Solution Architect working in a multinational organization based in London. A big thank you to Textilers organizing team as well for putting this together today's session. We'll move to the next slide. So before proceeding ahead, we'll start with our housekeeping rules, followed by Textiler's mission, guest introduction, and then we will dive into inspirational talks. So we will be recording this session. If you prefer not to be recorded, please feel free to drop off and request you to listen to the recording later on YouTube. If you don't want your video to be recorded, please again feel free to turn it off and feel free to drop your questions in the chat window. You can unmute your mic at the end of the session to ask questions directly. We want this session to be more engaged, and you can follow our social media handles and stay tuned for keeping up to date with all the updates. So about us, Textiler was founded on 30th of May 2020 by Foyne and Ulajumike. So this is a community dedicated to supporting women seeking growth in technology. We believe in our woman power. So we believe in our unique superpower using tech skills to solve real life problems. So our vision is to empower more women to enter into the tech field and through trainings and mentorship. Our mission, as we stand united in our mission, we empower and support women in technology. Our vision is clear. We encourage women who aspire to build a career in technology and enhance their skills. We create a platform where accomplished women in technology can mentor and inspire others as well into the technology. So we are aspiring others to get forward in technology and empower this. So we have monthly meetups. Our last Saturday of the month is the meetup day, and we are coming up with deep dive sessions as well from 3rd May to June 2025. You can follow us on social media. Announcements like you can join our team of mentors and volunteers. You can find us on Discord. You can find us on WhatsApp. There are May inspirational sessions uh, from 3rd of May, and then AI Skill Fest, and there are multiple mentorship and scholarship programs as well. You can have your MS certifications as well. Just follow this list and follow the handle. Next exciting announcement is that we have our tech deep dive session, and this is just another exciting opportunity where you must have been waiting for the perfect opportunity to upskill yourself, pivot into tech, or explore new opportunities. Then this is it. So we will be starting our cohort on 3rd of May. This is not just another training, but it's a full experience designed to get your career ready in 8 weeks' time with virtual training, with hands on projects and soft skills, and many more things. So, we have key learning tracks as well, starting from M365 Copilot and AI to Power Apps, Power Automate, Copilot, Essentials, Data Analysis, Azure, all the tracks, and with expert guidance and strong community. And again, another thing is it's 100% online, flexible, and completely free. So please apply before this month end. Yeah, so let's shortly, I'll go through a quick agenda. It's welcome note, which has already been covered. And we will be welcoming OEHE Speaker 1 She would be sharing her thoughts on data protection, role of data controllers, and tool to achieve compliance. Later, Bernardine will give us more insights on topic creating legacy via coaching and mentoring, followed by announcement, question and answer, and closing notes. So let's meet speakers. So I will just start a bit about Oyechi. She has been a fantastic volunteer for textilers. She brings wealth of experience as a lawyer with over 17 years of experience in banking, nonprofit, and private sectors. She specializes in cybersecurity, governance, risk, and compliance, and data protection. She's certified ISO, lead implementer, lead auditor, and currently pursuing master's degree in ICT law. So as you can see, you can please follow her on LinkedIn profile. Next speaker is Bernardine. Oh, it's my great honor to introduce Bernardine. She has been instrumental in my career progression, and I feel really incredible, fortunate to have received her valuable guidance and mentorship. Definitely. So her career in global IT consulting services spans over 3 decades. Can you believe this? Oh my God. So, with her 13 plus experience in Avanade throughout her career, she had held various roles from technical SME, consultant to business development, client management, and many more. And again, mentorship for me. Definitely. So, most recently, she had a team specializing in modern workplace solutions in a leadership position within UKI region. Often the lone female in male dominated IT consulting teams. She is passionate about supporting women and minorities in tech. So, in the next phase of her career, she aims to focus on mentoring and coaching, backed up by research and insights to help them navigate key challenges. So, please feel free to get in touch with her on her LinkedIn provided here. She is going to provide her expert advice or insights on creating legacy via coaching and mentoring. I have been muted. Can you hear me okay?
Yes,
Perfect.
can hear you.
Yeah. So without further ado, I'll hand over to Oyechi and followed by Bernardine. Thank you so much. Over to you, Oyechi.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me loud and clear? Okay, great. And you can see my screen. Okay, good evening, everyone. It's good to be here. I don't know where others on the call are calling in from, and so I'll just say good morning, good afternoon, wherever it is you are joining us from. Today I'm going to be having a general discussion on data protection and why it's important to us as organizations. Because whatever you do, irrespective of how you do it, data protection doesn't apply to you when you are just an individual. It only becomes applicable when you become an organization. For instance, the phone contacts of your children are in your phone. The phone contact of your friends are in your phone. Their bank account details are in your phone. Sometimes you have some of them even stuck on your wall or your bed head because you want to make sure you transfer money to them every day. But those are not the kind of issues we talk about when we talk of data protection. And that's why it's not really about the individuals. It's about organizations. Whether you are a small organization, SME, a one man, a sole proprietor, is applicable to you if whatever you do as a business is applicable to having the private data of individuals. So, what is data protection? It is the practice of safeguarding sensitive information from unauthorized access ensuring that they are not corrupted, they are not lost, they are not altered, and that in everything you are doing, that these data remain the way they need to be. Very often, we always talk about the quotes that says, data is not numbers, data are people. And so until we have the mindset that data are not numbers, but people, we'll keep treating it like, just keep the book there. Just, I cringed when I heard someone say, she was asked, what do you think you are doing against your company? And she said, sharing my official password, my official laptop password with my daughter. And she was asked why. She said, because she uses the system to watch movies. So imagine if someone meets that daughter and for any reason the discussion goes and the password of that laptop leaks out. Imagine what will happen to all that sensitive data in that system. And that's why data protection is important. So it encompasses the strategies, the policies, the technologies, everything we need to put in place to ensure that we secure this data. Not just securing it, but ensuring they are accurate, ensuring that when we need them, they are there, ensuring that they are not altered in any way, and ensuring that anyone who doesn't need to see it does not see it. The list of what this entails is overwhelming, and it varies sector to sector. It varies business to business. In some cases, it could be customer's name. In some cases, it could be account details. The list goes on, even health. And then very often, organizations don't tend to look at their employees as data. They are just here. We are one. No, we are not one. Employees are the first set of data that every organization has. Even you, as the employer, you are employed by the organization, especially if you're a limited liability company. You are not one and the same. So even you, as the business owner, you are a data subject to your company. And so what data is your company keeping about you? And how is it keeping it? How is it storing it? How sensitive are they? And is it being given the respect and priority that it needs? So what do organizations need to know? Organizations need to know the principles for processing this data, and it varies jurisdiction to jurisdiction, but most times they are all one and the same. And it also varies sector to sector. So you want to also understand who your data subjects are and what are their rights, depending on the jurisdiction you are also based in. But like we said, most of them are alike. So you want to talk of purpose limitation, you want to talk of accuracy, you want to talk of storage limitation, you want to talk of data retention, integrity and confidentiality, accountability. Then when you want to talk of the rights of data subjects, their right to access. I want to know what you are keeping about me. Their right to correction, and the list goes on. And then organizations need to identify, what do we process? What sensitive data do we have? Sometimes it's even the information of that organization. For instance, their trade secrets. Yes, they are part of your sensitive information. How are you keeping them? Who has access to them? How can they be protected from being heard on the streets? And then documentation, privacy policy, consent notice, data protection impact assessment, report of processing activities. You want to keep all of that in mind. You want to document them accurately. Then you want to understand the relevant law within the jurisdiction where you operate, and then your sector. For instance, you're in health, you're in the US, you want to know about HIPAA. You want to know about CCPA. You are in Nigeria, you want to know about the Nigerian Data Protection Act. GDPR, the entire EU. So that is also very relevant. You also want to know the relevant standards and frameworks, because most of the laws don't tell you what to do. They don't tell you how to do it. They just tell you what they expect from you. And so until you understand the standards and frameworks, you will never be able to appreciate what exactly you need to do and how you need to do it. And then why is it relevant to organizations to protect data? Risk mitigation, be it financial, be it reputational, they all matter. The moment the information goes out, oh, that organization has been breached, that organization suffered a hack, the story is never the same. It changes the ball game. In some cases, where it's a financial organization, people want to just withdraw their money and be done with such an organization. So reputation is key. Risk is key. Regulatory compliance. By the time anything happens and then the law takes its effect on such a business, it's as good as the business never started in some cases, depending on their profit level or their financial strength. So customers' trust matters. If all the people who do business with you walk away, it's as good as that business does not exist anymore. And then it gives competitive advantage. If two organizations are running the same business and one is showcasing, oh, we protect your data, and another one is showcasing, we don't care, definitely the one showcasing, we protect your data, we definitely get more attention from clients. And so what are the core components organizations must put in place to achieve data protection? Data governance. What are sensitive data? What rules do we use to operate them? Who has access to them? Are they encrypted, in transit, at rest? And every other situation where that data is ever in use, are they encrypted? Are they such that anybody can walk in and then they have access? Are we auditing regularly? Are we monitoring to check whether the rules, the governance policies we put in place are being followed by team members? Are we training our team members to understand why this is important? Because like we often say, compliance is everybody's business. And interestingly, compliance is not security. And so organizations must go beyond the call of ticking the compliance boxes to ensure that they are actually what? Secured. In summary, organizations must keep in mind the fact that data protection is much more than business. Yes, it's more than business. It's about compliance. It's about customers' trust. It's about efficiency, where a customer comes to you and says, oh, I want to correct my name. And then your data is scattered everywhere. You can't attend to that promptly. And if you don't attend to it promptly, that will also affect reputation. It's also about mitigating risk and competitive edge, like we have said. And so no matter how small, in fact, we often say the smaller an organization, the easier it is to do what? Protect data. And the moment you start the culture early enough, it is easy to now progress incrementally in protecting data. How do we protect? The rules, the expectations are high. The law is saying this, the standard is saying this, your customers are expecting this, your investors are expecting that. It can be a lot. The rules, the timing, data retention, when do you delete this one? It could be overwhelming. So how best can you achieve it? The simplest way is to automate. When you have an automation system in place that helps you know, even when your team members have forgotten that, today is the deadline to delete this data. Today is the automation helps you cure all of that worry. And one of the tools that I personally find very interesting to use in achieving that is the Microsoft Purview. From insider risk to encryption to deleting data when it is due for retention, all of those are taken care of. And so all you need to do is go to the business like a business mogul, where you don't need to bother your head. You don't need to crack your brain whether this team member will remember to do the work. And the most interesting part of this purview I like is the insider risk mitigation. What does that do? It helps you see who is going to places on your SharePoint that they have no business going to. And that way you begin to monitor them beyond what they do online. You also monitor where they go to within your premises. So acquiring tools is the easiest way to ensure that tomorrow, very often we say penny wise, pound foolish. I know it's expensive, but when you acquire it, it saves you the trouble of financial loss when there is a fine. For instance, in Nigeria, the fine is as high as 10 million and all the way to 2% of your previous year revenue. And for the GDPR is 4%. Imagine losing 4% of your previous year revenue. Then you want to put that side by side, the cost of acquiring it to implementing it and running your business seamlessly. So at the end of the day, having tools and automating your system makes the workload easy. It gives you the peace of mind you need to do your work, and it helps you appear sleek, or what's the other word? Chic, when it comes to doing your business, and your customers can look at you and say, oh, these people, I don't know how they do it, but they are just good at what they do. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening to me. I hope I've been able to communicate my points. Thank you.
That's fantastic session. Thank you so much for your knowledge, your insights and experiences sharing with us. So over to Bernardine now. Thank you.
Thank you. I really enjoyed that. That was really interesting. Thanks very much. Now, I am going to. Well, can you see my slides? Lovely. Right. So, hello. As Jayshree introduced me, I'm Bernardine, or Bern is what everybody calls me. And what I'm going to talk with you about and share with you is what's making me excited and energizing me at this next stage of my career journey. And that's why I've called it Creating Legacy via Career Coaching and Mentoring. So what I'm going to talk about with you and share with you over the next few minutes, 20 minutes or so, is a bit more about my career journey. Jayshree introduced that really nicely, but I'm going to unpack that a bit more, a bit about where I'm going, why I'm going there, and also what I've learned about my own career journey and how that's relevant to you. I'm also going to then talk about career coaching, and I'm going to talk about it in 4 aspects. So, coaching for transformation, coaching for enhancing relationships, for navigating change and uncertainty, and for creating your own legacy. And then we'll talk a little bit right at the end about what next, because I've got a career coaching offer for some of the people in textiles. Okay. So, as Jayshree very ably introduced me, I'm the veteran of about 30 years in IT. So, cast your mind back. I started about 5 years before Y2K, or the year 2000 bug, and I'm sure none of you remember that. And during my time in IT, I've spent the last about 13 years with Avanade, which is a Microsoft consultancy. It's a subsidiary of Accenture. A lot of you may know me. And of course, I've had the greatest pleasure of working with Jayshree and Foyne there. But I've done several roles during my career, my IT career. I've done technical SME and consultant roles, and then I moved into business development, client management, and I started working with clients around more complex problems, bigger clients, more complex organizations. And then in the last few years, I've been in a senior leadership position within our UK and Ireland business, leading one of the technology practices, which is where Jayshree and Foyne are, or were. And you know, that practice was quite large. It had solution architects, technology SMEs, delivery managers, business analysts, and everybody in that practice was specializing in modern workplace. But now, after almost 47 years working and 30 years in IT, I'm in the really lucky position that I can shape my next chapter, and I can do what I really want to do, not always what I have to do. And I know so many people have their career is about what you have to do: earn money, have a family, have a mortgage. But I've been very fortunate to be freed of that now. So when I reflect on my career and my next chapter, all through my career, I've operated as a minority. And most particularly at the beginning of it, if you think back to 1995, frequently as the only female figure within it, and then in consulting teams that were really heavily invested in male talent, both, you know, from technical program delivery, business development, strategic account management, the whole caboodle, into leadership and executive functions. And therefore, for me, the role of minorities, and most especially women, within IT consulting is really close to my heart. Often I have experienced not being seen for who I am or accepted for how I operate. So, I've lost count of the time I've been told, if only you were this or that. It's usually, if only you were less emotional and more like so-and-so. And that was often a man that was held up as the example to me. And when I reflect on that and I think about, well, what does this mean for women? We're all living longer. We're all going to need to work longer. Women will need to work longer. How can women remain relevant longer? Because I think that is a particular problem, especially for women, how to remain relevant longer and give life to an impactful legacy along the way. And my own experience tells me that we really need to empower women, and we need to empower women by building what's called self-efficacy and doing this much earlier. And really, this is about a clear sense of yourself, a clear sense of who you are, where you're going, and the value you bring, and building that at a much earlier stage in everybody's development and your career stages, and then also fostering networking and mentoring. So in this next phase of my career, I'm wanting to accelerate that impact. I'm focusing more of my time and expertise to support and coach and mentor the career development of women and minorities. And at the same time, I feel it's necessary to underpin this with some research and insight into the key issues that are going on for women and how to navigate them. As a consequence, I've enrolled myself, and I did it on about 3 weeks ago. I got an offer and I've accepted it with Oxford Brookes University and their doctorate of coaching and mentoring. Now, there's 2 reasons or 2 main objectives for me around this. First is to enhance my own career coaching effectiveness. So I've already got a postgrad diploma in career management and coaching, which I got about 10 years ago, but I want to take that further. I want to get better and be a better coach. And the second is to undertake research to add weight to my voice, both as an advocate and as an activist for women. So what I'm wanting to do is empower myself so that I can come out from a place of real knowledge as well as experience, and through formal learning, and more important for me, through research, so that I can really powerfully validate my opinions, my beliefs, in order that my voice can finally be heard. So that's where I'm going with my career journey, my next chapter. When I look at my career journey, it tells me a number of things. And I think the things it tells me, I really want to share with you because they're relevant. And the first is, you've got to look at career as a journey. It's no longer a career path that leads you directly from point A to point B to your goal. It's a journey with twists and turns and opportunities and challenges. When I did my undergrad degree, so I did a Bachelor of Business Studies in Accountancy and Finance, computing modules were based on coding via punch cards. Now, I'm not sure where any of you know what punch cards are. They're little pieces of cardboard like this, where you pop binary code by literally punching binary code into the card, and you had a big stack and you fed it into a computer and it read all the stacks. When I started IT consultancy, the internet had only just been invented and released into the public domain in 1993. So, and I remember when I saw the first email, it was just email within an organisation, not even out publicly. I thought, oh my goodness, I don't think this will ever catch on. Why don't we send a letter? So I could never have imagined Microsoft M365 or Modern Workplace. And there was no way I would have ever imagined my career journey, the opportunities and roles that have occurred along the way. They just didn't exist there. So a career journey needs goals, it needs objectives, a roadmap and a way forward, but you can only plan as far forward as you've got the foreseeable future. You need to be agile, you need to be open to opportunities and embrace challenges along the way. And then you come, as you go along your journey, you have a collection of resources. So you collect all those experiences, skills, capabilities, which form your own unique kit bag, is what I would like to call them. So if you reflect on where you've been today and how you got there, what helps you get there, you will see that you've got a whole lot of resources. Even in the challenging times, you build your resources. In fact, I often think that I've grown and developed the most through some of the challenges I've had to go through. And it's also around consciously building out your capabilities. So some of these things you build along the way unconsciously, but also consciously building your capabilities. So by looking at my career journey, I've identified my own gaps, and that's why I started my career coaching studies in 2015. And that also linked to my vision of what success looks like. So you really need a vision so that you can identify those opportunities, so that you know what's good opportunity for you and what maybe you want to pass by. When I started out to be an accountant, when I started out, I wanted to be an accountant. Then I wanted to work in IT using my business experience from my business degree in accountancy to help organizations solve problems. And then later I wanted to help people with IT with their own career challenges. So my vision of success for me has evolved and changed along the way, which is why I've done a study, which is why I looked at my journey, my resources, and I've started purposefully reshaping things. And finally, I come, but yeah.
But sorry, can you please do a slideshow? At the moment, it's not in presentation mode. So sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought it was. Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
You should have told me before. I'm so sorry. And then relationships. I think this is really, really important. I can't emphasize enough how important relationships are for your personal development and career growth. So role models and guides along the way, the people who've actively coached and mentored and sponsored you. And if you don't have them, then you need strategies for developing them. I didn't understand this until much, much later in my own development. And I know I would have benefited enormously from receiving coaching and mentoring much earlier in my career. So that's part of my passion and commitment for doing this for other people. It makes such a huge difference, and I want to see people receive that difference. So that's my journey, and those are some of my learnings and my insights from that journey. So how does that relate to coaching and career coaching and mentoring? Well, I've pulled together 4 topics or challenges which career coaching or mentoring can address, and I think these should be interesting to you. The first is coaching for transformation. This is helping empower you to transform your own journeys. And it's very much about you owning that journey, getting that promotion or changing direction or doing what you're passionate about. As I said earlier, my vision of success has evolved over the years. It's moved from a focus of business to a focus on people. So I've been looking at transforming myself. I've been looking at my kit bag, what I'd love to do, what I've got the capabilities to do, what the world needs, because there's not much point in offering something that nobody wants. And that's why I became a career coach and a mentor, and then underpinned it, started my studies in 2015. But it may also be around, getting that next step under your belt, a promotion, or needing the support structures in place to thrive in a new role. So having that coaching and mentoring and sounding board. Maybe it's a stretch role and you feel a bit out of your depth, but you're rising to the challenge and you're wanting the growth, and just to have a coach and a mentor there to help work through some of those things with you. So that's the first thing. Enhancing relationships. I said relationships were important. And this is really about the importance of building relationship skills, because it leads to much more productive working relationships and actually better personal relationships. It's the foundation of getting anything done. And even when, after all, in IT, we are a people industry. I know we like to hide behind the tech, but we are a people industry. It takes people to deliver projects. Your colleagues are people, your clients are people. You're surrounded by people. It's really important to understand what makes people tick. And there's some really interesting models around how people transact with each other, the roles they play, or you could say the games they play, and the styles they adopt and why. And what's really interesting about it is that first and foremost, it suddenly explains a lot about your own self. You have those light bulb moments. You go, oh, that's why I do that, or that's why I don't immediately get on with people who do X, Y, Z, or oh, that's me. When you recognize yourself in some of this learning, or that's my partner or my child or my boss or my colleague. But it's really valuable insights and around relationships, and I think very helpful. Navigating change and uncertainty. Well, what's certain is the world is uncertain at the moment, and you've only got to look at AI to say that, it's been around for a few years, but there's very few of us who would have suddenly seen the urgency and the emphasis that's gone on in the last 18 months. It's been a tsunami of AI, and it's touched us in every regard, both in IT, in our jobs, and our clients, but also in our everyday life as well, and put huge demands on everybody. So I think we all struggle to a greater or lesser degree with change and uncertainty, because it's much easier when things are plain sailing. But out of change and uncertainty comes opportunities, and we just need to be able to visualize the opportunities, get our heads around them. So having that quiet space with a career coach in which you can explore the change and uncertainty, look at your kit bag, look at your vision for the future, develop some strategies and plans and options so that you have a bit of control about what's going on. So you feel that, I'm getting my head around this, I have a plan, I have options, I have a degree of control. Helps you deal with the uncertainty and reduces that feeling of pressure around it. And finally, the fourth thing I like to think about coaching for is creating your own legacy. So what stepping stones are you leaving for others? How are you going to build for yourself while also leaving that legacy to be proud of, which inspires others? My very first slide talked about creating legacy via career coaching and mentoring, and that's my vision for myself. And it's been like that for quite a while, probably 10 to 15 years now. It's been percolating around, but it's only recently that I've been able to really articulate it clearly to myself and others. So it's been a bit like a murky fog, and then suddenly the mist clears. But legacy doesn't occur at a single point in time. It's what your career journey creates along the way through the interactions you have with others. Those are relationships I keep going on about, and the deeds which you do. So those businesses you've helped, that innovation you took on, Jayshree, all of those things are part of your legacy. And we all create legacy, but we all have the opportunity to really be very conscious about shaping that as well, and shaping it starting right now. So what's next? Well, as you know, have no doubt gathered, I'm pretty passionate around career coaching and mentoring, and I'm focusing on using it to further shape my own legacy, as I've said. But I'd love to see you all take ownership of your own career journey. Taking ownership is absolutely critical. It's not your boss's job or your colleague's job or your partner's job. It's your job to take ownership around your career journey, and to see you all actively making a difference for yourself. Now, there's only one of me and quite a lot of tech stylists. So I've been thinking how I can do this. And initially, what I would like to do is I'm offering you the opportunity to participate either in a series of a group in a career workshop series, or as an individual in career coaching. So, I mean, I can't take everybody, but I'm looking for maybe 10 to 12 people. I'll do 6 sessions. I've got some provisional dates there, but we've got a little bit of flex, and using a framework and a set of exercises to work you through your journey, your identity, your goals, aspirations, create a strategy, actions, and next steps and a way forward, right? So there's a framework to work to. It won't be easy because it requires you to sit and reflect on yourself is always hard work, to be honest with yourself and really look at yourself. None of us like doing it, but it's a necessary part of the career coaching and the journey, and you'll get the benefit from it. And for some of the most senior people in tech stylers who are mid-career or at a particular challenging point or have a goal that they want to move themselves forward with, I'm going to offer 6 one-hour individual tailored sessions for them. I'm going to do this free of charge. And so and you know, if the career workshop's really successful and lots of people want to do it, then I'll look at doing another one later this year and into next year. What I need to do is, anybody who's keen, there's a participant form, and I'll pop it into the chat in a moment, that Foyne set up for me. It's got a series of questions. What it will do, it will help you, help me understand a bit more about you, because I really need to identify the people, or initially the first participants, who will benefit the most from that coaching, because hopefully I'll get lots and lots and lots of people wanting to do this. So thank you very much for the opportunity to share with you today. It's been really lovely to be here, and I've enjoyed the opportunity to speak to you. I hope what I've shared with you will be of value and will inspire you to own your career journey. Take care.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bern. And both sessions were really wonderful. So I hope everyone here have found this session informative and inspiring, definitely. So please fill out the form and grab this career coaching offer from leader like Bernardine. It would be really a life-changing moment for you. A huge thank you to our incredible guest speakers for sharing their knowledge, insights, and experience today to this inspiring to the community. and your contributions has really made this session special. Uh, if there are any questions to ask, please feel free to ask now. Please unmute your mic, and otherwise just add your questions on the chat, and I would hand over to Foyin. Thank you so much, okay, speakers.
Thank thank you very much, Jayshree. I want to start by saying a big thank you to Bern for taking our time to join us today. And she's been a great mentor to me. And I remember all of the times where I'm like, I don't think I should take this next step. I don't think I'm ready for it. And she's like, you're absolutely ready, and always taking the time to help me see um how good the work I've done is. Because a lot of times women, we tend to kind of want to be humble. We don't know how to brag about ourselves. So I kind of like, it's okay, I'm just doing my job. Do I have to tell the whole world that I'm doing what I'm being paid to do?
Yeah.
So yeah, I've had those moments, and she's been there to give me the push to say, yes, I know you're doing your job, but this is extraordinary. Not everybody's doing all of these other things you're doing beyond your job. And more importantly, she also steps in to say, Foyi, you need to take it easy. You don't want to burn out. You have your family, you have your children. You need to find a good balance. Yes, it's good to be ambitious and to push yourself and do the hours, but that can be your everyday life. You have to have the balance. So I just want to say a big thank you to Ben. I'm definitely number one on the list for her coaching sessions. So thank you so much for offering it to us for free. And the community is really, really grateful to you for this. Okay, that said, I know Joy had her hand up.
Mm. So
Joy, would you
Joy
like to come
got
off
a
mute?
question there. Yeah.
Yeah, yes. So I actually dropped it in the chat. I said 47 years of experience is packed with, I like to say, the good, bad, and the ugly. I think you've said it all. Like 47 years. I'm imagining when I get to 47 years of my work life, what that would mean. So I see it as a wealth of experience that you're giving to us to tap from. But out of curiosity, I just wanted to know, how did you navigate the different phases of your life as a woman, through while succeeding in your career or going through with this growth that you achieved? How were you able to navigate the different phases?